Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm your host, Run7. How you doing? Today we're going over Lyingliarslies. I actually had a hard time spelling liar, and now I know how to spell every version of that word, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, if you don't know, we grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISO weight, and what kind of mood I'm in. Let's jump right into it. Team number 1 is the Mercs. And we're missing some ISOs. This is a cardinal sin. You should have level 1 ISOs no matter what. You know, it costs almost nothing to do the level 1 ISOs. It's one piece of material and like no ions. So you get them in there because you're going from 0 to 1. That's an infinite increase in power. So you got to get those on there. You're going to want to change Skirmisher to a Striker. I'm sorry. For those of you who don't know, I call Taskmaster Skirmisher all the time because he's supposed to be a Skirmisher. Like, that's how important it is. I just call him Skirmisher. Anyway, change Taskmaster to a Skirmisher. No matter what game mode you're running him in, you want him as a Skirmisher. Then you want all your other Mercs to be Strikers. Especially in this composition, you've got lots of Mercs here, so make them all Strikers. You're going to be bringing up the power level of that Taskmaster a lot. Your biggest liability is that Merc Riot Guard's power level is too low. They could be bringing in like a small X-Force and really blowing this team away. X-Force is a great way to beat this team at the lower end. Once you scale them up past 400k, then you got to switch to a skilletary team to beat them because the X-Force just can't hold. It's all about that opener with that team into this team. So get your Strikers on there. Get your Skirmisher on Taskmaster. Even out the power levels, I'd like to see them all at 70k or higher. This is still a very good defensive team, even though it has some serious counters to it. Used to be last month, and that's like a decade in this game. Last month, this was like the #1 defense. Now, not at all. Without those ISOs, those power levels, like this team is just really a total liability. It's kind of a waste of effort that you've put into Taskmaster and Killmonger, so I'm going to give you a D for this. Team number 2, Supernatural. This is an offensive war team. They are not very good on defense. You should be swapping out Shooter Magoo down there in the bottom right. Swap her out with Hela. Elsa Bloodstone. You don't want her on this team. You want Hela on this team, and you want to run them on offense. They work great against Wave 1. They are the hard counter against the Wave 1 Avengers. You can also use them into Doc Ock teams, but it's more of a punch across. If you're going to do the Wave 1 or even the Doc Ock, you want to get the T4 in Mordo so that he is stunning all the time. Make that stun stick. Otherwise, you know, I kind of like the way you got your power levels set up here. If you're going to run this team on defense, you know, the other 4 die and Ghost Rider just goes to town on whoever does the killing. And he's pretty powerful. So, I mean, that's okay. So as a defensive team, your power levels are about where they should be. However, again, no ISO 8. That's terrible. Oh, man, I don't remember what the ISO 8 should be. We never do these on defense. Let's see. Striker on Ghost Rider for sure. I'm going to say Skirmisher on Mordo. At a level 5 Skirmisher, that focus boost is really important. You could go Healer on Doctor Strange or Fortifier on Doctor Strange. He needs to stay alive, and everyone's going to be targeting him when they first come in. So on defense, probably go Fortifier. But on offense, I think you should make him a Healer. Let's see. Scarlet Witch has a pretty big health bar, but no armor at all. So Healer can work for her, but I think maybe Skirmisher or Striker. I'm thinking Skirmisher for her also. And then Elsa Bloodstone should be a Striker, but she should be removed and be replaced with Hela, which would be a Raider on this team. So no ISOs, plus you're using this team on defense, so it should be used on offense. I'm going to give you a D for this also. Bad move. Team number 3, Glitter Trolls with Nobu. And Nobu's minion that gives defense up. What the heck's that name? Hand Sorceress? Yeah, those guys are trash. So the Glitter Trolls are amazing, but you need to have somebody else with them on defense. And it's okay to work the Adam Warlock, the Infinity Watch team on offense or defense is fantastic. They're the best team right now. They are by far the best team, hands down. Treat them like Black Order, the way Black Order was. Okay, you can run them on defense, and somebody has to have a Black Order to beat that Black Order. You can run them on offense, and you save them for when you come across a team on defense. However, Nobu and Hand Assassin on this team are just a waste. I mean, actually, or not Hand Assassin, Hand Sorceress. Hand Sorceress is okay because she's giving defense up, but they don't really need it. So replace them with somebody else. Just any other plug-and-play character that adds some real value to this team. Put another threat in there. I don't recommend Surfer or Kestrel because you're going to need them elsewhere. But yeah, those are just such trash tunes. You might as well beef this team up a little bit. And by the way, bring these 3 up and start running them in your arena with some other plug-and-play characters. You're going to get to way new heights. I kind of think this is a waste of resources. Once again, you don't have your ISOs. On Nebula is Skirmisher. Everybody else is Striker on that team. You get the Skirmisher Striker combo off the 2. Get that going. Bring up your power levels. Replace the crappy tunes with something else, preferably the rest of the team. And I don't care if you run them on defense or offense. They're fantastic either place. So this is a waste of resources again, so I'm going to give you another D. It's a better team. It's tougher and all, but you're doing it all wrong, so you're screwing it up. So it's a D. Hydra 1.0. No ISOs. Make them all Fortifier or all Healer. It doesn't matter. I definitely like Healer, or I definitely like Fortifier on Red Skull. It makes it tougher for people to come in with the power armor setup. This is a low-level team, not worth investing in. Although Red Skull has some value, Hydra Grenadier has some value. Yeah, I wouldn't bother investing in the team though. I mean, you know, bring them up to an even 30k on the minions. You know, that's probably pretty cheap to do. Bring them up to 30k, get Fortifier on the whole team. Placement doesn't matter. The ISOs don't really matter. It's all about that stupid revive mechanic. Honestly, I guess I gotta give you a D for this again. You're just not using your ISOs. Level 1 ISO, it helps so much. Team number 5, Shield with Hawkeye and the minions. Okay, if you're not going to run Kestrel on this team, then don't run Fury on this team. In fact, I don't think you should run Fury on this team at all. Unless you got a really powerful Fury for some other reason, and I don't recommend you invest in Fury. So Hawkeye's okay. He has some shield. He has a shield tag and stuff. Replace Operative with Assaulter. Make them all Raider, except for your Medic, which will be a healer. And then Hawkeye should be a Skirmisher or a Striker. Kind of depends. I'm used to seeing him with Black Widow, and then they do a Skirmisher Striker, and it's your choice on who wants to be where. So, again, you're missing ISOs on most of your people. Your power levels are all wonky, so somebody comes in here with a Zemo, and half the team disappears before the round even starts. Not that anybody would waste a Zemo on a 230 level team. I do like that you have these two powered up, your Coulson and your Medic powered up, because then it is a formidable team. Coulson just blows somebody up, but you know, I'd come in here with a mid-level Brotherhood and take this team apart. It wouldn't be a challenge. So it's a deceiving team. It's actually, because of the power levels are so deceiving, somebody might bring in a Brotherhood who's too small and get wiped out. But again, you're missing ISOs. I'm going to give you a D+ for this team, just because I think that you might actually get a win with this once in a while. 6. Old school S6. I would bring in my AIM team against this and punch way up. Like a 210k AIM team would probably auto this. Missing the ISOs again. What is it? You just don't like to use those ISOs. It's terrible, man. Take the time to go through your entire usable roster and give everybody ISO level 1. Every character that you're using gets level 1 ISO. It will improve your blitz scores. It'll improve every aspect of the game. So just do it. Let's see, placement. You should put Rhino not on the outside. I'd put Rhino in between Vulture and Shocker, and then replace Mysterio with Doc Ock. Yeah, when you get Doc Ock, replace Mysterio with him. Although I know that a lot of people are replacing this entire team. They're not running Doc Ock on defense anymore. They're using hybrids with Doc Ock because all these guys, they're basically minions. Most of them are so old, and the chargeable characters are kind of squishy. We're waiting for Kraven the Hunter to come in. My prediction is that he's going to be a legendary character, and this will be a 2 legendary team. or they're going to split it up so you can have 2 Sinister Six teams. But I think they're going to bring Kraven in as a legendary. Just a guess. Don't know about that. Just a guess. Get your ISOs on here. Let's see. Vulture is going to be Raider. Shocker is going to be Striker. Mysterio is going to be Skirmisher. Green Goblin is going to be Skirmisher or Raider. And Rhino is going to be a healer. You could also do Shocker as a Raider if you wanted to. Okay, waste of resources, but not as big a waste, so that's a D+. Only because the team, you're not going to be using the team elsewhere, so it's not as big a waste. Plus, the evenly powered team. I don't know, you'd have to be a real idiot to this fight. Oh, damn it, I'm going to have to go back and edit that out. Okay. Let's see. Emmaauders. Okay, everybody's breaking this team up because there's so many hard counters to it now. Shadowlands, X Factor, your Infinity Watch team looks at this team and they just die. Okay, let's see. You've got Healer, Fortifier, Raider, Healer, Skirmisher. Hey, you got him right. You got him right. You got the ISOs right. Way to go. Okay. You should probably go ahead and make Sabretooth a level 3 Raider, because going from 2 to 3 isn't too expensive and the benefit is there, but don't go any higher than that. Same thing with Mystique. You could take her to level 3, but honestly, this team isn't really worth investing anymore. The 2 characters you have there in the purple borders are pretty replaceable with, say, Minerva and or Doom, something like that. Let's see. Your placement on this team is all wonky, though. That's really bad. I would let's see. If you swap Strife and Emma, you'll be fine. Doesn't really matter. I mean, the ideal placement is going to be Strife, Sabretooth, Mystique, then Sinister, then Emma. But it really doesn't matter. Just swap Emma and Strife, you're going to be fine. There's so many hard counters to this team. You might even consider just breaking them up, using them on offense or defensive hybrids or something like that. Otherwise, you've actually done a pretty good job with this build. Your power levels are pretty close to where you want them, all that stuff. So I'm actually going to give you a B- for this team. Just be ready to break it up, use it elsewhere if you want to. All right, and team number 8 is the Asgardians. Get this team off of defense. They're a liability. There's so many hard counters to this team. You've got X Factor, X Force, Symbiotes, Axemen. They all come in here and just rip this team apart, mostly because of Greg or because of crits, something like that. You want to be using Thor on the wave 1. You want to use Hela on Supernaturals. You want to use Loki. I don't know. Loki doesn't get much use. You could put him on some kind of a hybrid or something, but he's pretty squishy. He gets beat early. And then, of course, the last 2 are just totally useless. But let's take a look at your build as is. You got Fortifier on Sif. She doesn't need it. You should make her a healer. You've got Striker on Heimdall. He is doing like AoE and splash damage on every attack, so you want him as a Raider. Although you've already invested in these characters, so it's not worth changing it now because that ISO crunch is on. You've got Skirmisher on Loki. That's correct. You've got Raider on Hela. Now, Raider on Hela is correct for what you should be using her for, which is off of this team. On this 5-part team, traditionally we use her as a Striker because Loki places the taunt and the vulnerable, and then she goes into it with Striker and does a double tap. But it's good that you have her as Raider because you're going to take her off of this team and use her elsewhere, preferably that Supernatural team. And then Thor as a Striker. Everybody has Striker on Thor. I don't know why. You want him as a Raider. He does lots of splash damage and AoEs, you know, just chain attacks or something. So go with Raider on Thor, but he's already level 3. So keep him as a Striker. Don't change it. Don't waste the ISO. Might as well keep him there. But he goes on the wave 1. So take this team apart, use him elsewhere. Otherwise, you're kind of close. You're trying here. Placement on this team isn't that important. I think you've got the 3-piece split up, which is Thor, Loki, and Hela. Those are the 3 I like to look for when Venom's turn comes, because then I can put heal block on all 3 of them. So you got them at least sort of split up, so that's good. I mean, the team sucks. Break them up, take them away. I'm going to give you a C- on this, because you're close. It's a powerful team and stuff, but, you know, everybody's just going to look at it as an easy win. Okay, so this has been Defense Up on Lying Liar Lies a lot. Lying Liar Lies. Defense. So if you like what you saw, leave a comment, hit that like button, turn your phone sideways, vertical, and, you know, make that subscription button turn gray. And, you know, you can catch me for the next one. Also, check me out on Twitch, streaming live noon to 9 every Thursday. I do not monetize, so you do not have to worry about me selling myself, except for on these videos when I'm trying to get you to come to the Twitch stream. All right, don't just have a good game, be good to each other. Thanks. Bye.